Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Oldish TV. My name is Karen Brown, and as always, it's my pleasure to be your host. As we did last week, we are sharing our broadcast this week with our sister brand, Real Life Renos. Real Life Renos and the Oldish TV are both produced by Reno Studios. Yes, we've grown. And this week we are doing part two of my 2021 wish list for people to consider when they are building, renovating, or looking for a home. Some of these things are very, very simple and you can do them yourself. We've got a couple of those. Actually, we've got what, one, two, three, four of my six items today are things you can do yourself. So super simple. Let's get started. The first thing I want to normalize, and you can do this if you're doing some renovations or if you are building, is to think about using 40-inch doors as standard. Now, doors come in 30, 32, 36. I think 36 is probably a pretty standard door width. But 40 inches, that 4 extra inches makes such a huge difference. First of all, it is accessible for mobility aid users. No question about that. It is also wonderful if you've got your arms loaded with groceries or luggage and you're trying to get through the door. If you are holding on to a little person and you both want to go through the door together, 40 inches will do it. There is none of this turning sideways to fit people through the door anymore. A 40-inch door should be the standard, in my opinion. Okay. Number two, the normalization of bidet toilet seats in North America. Standard throughout the world. We have not embraced the trend, except during the pandemic, when it became, for a period of time, in those early days in the spring, absolutely impossible to find a bidet toilet seat. They were all sold out everywhere. They're back in stock now. You can get toilet seats to retrofit your existing toilet. You can get attachments, which you can add on to your existing toilet and toilet seat, or you can go whole hog and get a complete toilet that is built to be a complete bidet system. Now, the prices range, let me see, we have got prices for attachments under $100. You can get them at the hardware stores, the building stores, Amazon. They're around everywhere. Under $100 for an attachment that you add to your existing toilet and toilet seat. Toilet seats will be over $100, and you can get those up to, gosh, I think I've seen them as high as $685. It just depends what you want. I will tell you that one of the things you may like to consider if you're getting a bidet, toilet seat, anything, is the addition of an electrical plug in the vicinity of your toilet, directly behind it, or just, off to one side or the other behind it. If you like to have warm water instead of cold water, you will need that electrical outlet to plug your bidet accoutrements into so that the water is nicely warmed for your tushy in the morning. If you don't care and cold water will do you, that's fine. Let me tell you, you are going to save a bundle on bathroom tissue. And that's the reason they all sold out at the beginning of the pandemic. Remember how everybody was going to grocery stores and stocking up on every roll of toilet paper they could find anywhere? If you have a bidet, you don't need toilet paper, or not nearly as much. Just a little hint. Now, if you want the full deal, the full bidet toilet seat, American Standard makes one, Kohler makes one, and they can be pricey. They're like $4,000 up to $5,000. So, depends on how important everything is to you. But it's nice that this is a category where there are options from under $100. And when I say under, I believe the attachments I saw them for like $87 Canadian. So under $100, You can spend all the way up to $4,000 or $5,000 if that's what makes you happy. But this is something that is really happy. It will up your hygiene game without getting too graphic. It will up your hygiene game beyond. If you have range of motion issues, it will help out with that. If you just want to save some money on bathroom tissue, it will help out with that too. So really, really give some serious thought to a bidet toilet seat. You can put it on your Christmas list for this coming year. You can put it on your birthday list. You can just save your pennies and buy something. It's really worth the time. It really is. Now, the next thing that is on the list, this is something you can DIY. Eliminate drawer hardware that is difficult to manipulate with your fingers. And that is to say the round knobs. Anything you have to grip and grasp, not ideal. Let me show you some examples. There we go. This one is very cool. Now this one I pulled not only because it's pretty. I mean, I can show you that drawer pulls can be pretty, but the one on the bottom, the longer piece, not only is it pretty, but it's closed all the way around. The top piece, you know, if you are somebody who has a dog guide, who uses ropes to pull things open for you, um, that might not be a bad option. And this just goes to show you that accessibility is very personal. That is not something that I would, in a global sense, recommend because the ends are open and you can catch sleeves and sweaters and all kinds of things on those open ends. But for some people, that serves a purpose. So the one on the bottom, it has closed ends all the way around. You can use one finger or two fingers or three fingers or a thumb or a rope. That is just such a versatile drawer pull. I love it. And it's pretty. It probably comes in, you know, brushed oil and bronze and all kinds of things too. So, you know, you can buy all of this stuff so that it suits your home decor. Let me show you another one. Now this one, again, it has a little bit of an open end, but you know, be careful. But it is more of a U shape and I like it. It is perhaps a bit more modern in its styling, if that suits your home. Here's another one, these cup holders. I used to have these on, or actually I do have them on my apartment kitchen now, these little cup holders, which are great because you can, you know, with, again, one finger, two finger, three fingers, you can pull them. I thought I had changed them out, but I haven't. And that's the reason why. Those little drawer pulls are super. They are, you know, they'll fit in with any kind of decor, really something that's more modern, something that is a little more old-fashioned. They will fit and they come in all kinds of finishes also. Okay, so now then, the next thing on my list, let's just get back here. The next thing on my list is going to be color contrast. Now, this is something that I really want you to pay attention to. If you are doing any painting this year, and if you are concerned about seeing the difference between the floors and the walls, color contrast is something you really want to think about. Now, it's not something most of us think about. Not something you think about, is it? It's not something that I've given a lot of thought to either, I'll be perfectly honest. Let me just close one of these because there's another document I'm going to show you. Color contrast is largely a function of light reflecting value. So how do you know the light reflecting value? Well, they are not on those little samples that you get at the paint store. But if you get the bigger samples and you turn them over, they are part of the information there. And this is what I will show you. Let me show you. There you go. All right, now here is, now this is Benjamin Moore, and this is from their website. It's just from their website. So you can go there or you can pick the paint maker of your choice. Doesn't matter. But look on the bottom there. See under the name, it says Citrus Mist, the one on the left, and it says 141. And then underneath that, it says LRV. 80. That is light reflecting value. In order to get proper light reflecting value between two planes, so a wall and a floor, as a for instance, you need a light reflecting value of 20 or greater. Now, light reflecting value, the higher the number, the more light that color reflects. The colors tend to be lighter as well. The lower the number, the less light they reflect. So 0 would be black, 100 would be white. Okay, so in this particular case, the light reflecting value on the one on the left is 80. So you need something that is 60 or less. In that same color family, we had to go down to a 55 before we found one that was lower than 60. So the next color up was higher than 60. So we went down to 55. Now, why are we looking at paint that way? Because you can get an approximation of the color of your flooring. It's a lot easier to change the walls. So find a color sample that is close to your floor tile. If you got your floor tile at a place that you can still access, or you know the manufacturer of it, tile has light reflecting value numbers assigned to them as well. So if you know that, if you know where you got your flooring and you can go ask them, the people who work on the floor may not know it right off the top of their head, but trust me, tile has a light reflecting value. So just ask them to go look it up and keep on pushing until you get it. If you don't know where you got the tile, or maybe you are living in a home where you didn't install the tile, then what you can do is find a paint chip that is close enough and work off that, okay? So that is one sample. Let me just go to the next one if I can, if it'll let me. There we go. This is a green one. So in this one, there we go. Seems a little light. There we go. All right, so this one, again, on the one on the left, Colony Green is the lighter one. It is a 67. So we need something that is a 47 or less to provide the proper contrast. And we found one in the family that says 30, gosh, 39. There we go. Numbers get smaller and smaller as I get older. I don't know why that happens. Anyway, so you can see the contrast between the two colors, and you can absolutely tell. Why is this so important? Because people who have challenges with their eyesight, now that can be somebody who's older, it can be somebody with a progressive eye disease who is much younger. They need to be able to discern the difference between where the floor ends and the wall begins, so that they don't run into things, so that they don't slip and fall thinking it's there somewhere where they're not. So color is such an important thing, and it gets more important as we age and as we deal with progressive diseases. Okay, so there's that one, and now let's go up to this one. This is our last example. So onyx white is a 78, so that's pretty bright, onyx white, but we had to find something that was 20 less, so 58 or less, and we got to a 57. We found sycamore, which is a light reflecting value of 21 points difference. So you can see that that's a nice little contrast. Okay, so paint matters. Again, you will not find these numbers on those little tiny square chips. You have to get the bigger ones. And depending on the paint manufacturer, you may have to get that big book. You know that big book, you watch the home design shows and they have that thing that fans out, that thing. Look on the back, LRV, and you need a difference of 20, okay? So there is that. All right. The next thing I want to talk to you about is something that I've talked about 2 or 3 times before. I know I may sound like a broken record, but it matters. tread on the bottom of your boots, your shoes, and your slippers. Now, I'm going to show you a little video here that I did, it was a couple of years ago, and it explains it best and shows some really good samples of what to get rid of and what to keep. So just watch this little video for a moment.
Let's talk about shoes. One of my favorite subjects. I've got a closet full. I'll bet you do too. But as we get older, what's on the bottom of the shoe matters more than what's on the top of the shoe. Because if what's on the bottom of the shoe is no tread, we put ourselves at risk for falls. And that's never a good thing for older people. It's never a good thing for anybody, but particularly older people with fragile bones. Now, we've all got our favorite fuzzy slippers that somebody gave us or we went out and bought, and they're all broken in and they feel just right. But look at the bottom. There's no tread there. Zero tread. So whether you are walking on hardwood or tile or carpet, this slipper is a fall risk. Here's something I like to wear indoors. I know, it's a Croc. No support, so it might not be the right one for you. But look at that tread. I'm not going to fall because of these slippers indoors. Okay, they're indoor and outdoor shoes, but I use them as slippers indoors. I use them here in the studio. I use them at home too. This tread is really fantastic, and it does a good job whether I'm walking on hardwood or tile or carpet. Good thing. For the outdoor shoes, I've got a favorite pair of sandals, and they're really good sandals. I've had them for a very long time. But look at this. I have this used to be the tread pattern that was up here. I have worn these puppies right down, and I find them very slippery on a lot of different surfaces outdoors, and particularly if something is wet. These are no longer doing me any favors. So sadly, they have to go. These are my new outdoor shoes. You see this tread pattern? You see the difference? This tread is going to serve me well, whether it is a slippery surface or a rough surface, whether it is wet or dry. They're comfortable, of course, but it's the tread that I'm more focused on at this point in my life, for sure. So go through your closet, take a look at what's there, just like your tires. If there's no tread, throw them out. Do yourself a favor. I know they're comfy and cozy. If you fall down, comfy and cozy isn't going to matter. So there you go. Get yourself some shoes and some slippers that have good tread. Keep yourself safe. It's part of advocating for your own health. Bad tread. Good tread. Bad tread. Good tread.
There we go. You see, a couple of years ago, I had bangs. I grew out my COVID bangs. There's my COVID bangs. Anyway, they're not bangs anymore, they're hair. So I'm going to show you the shoes I have on now. They're actually slippers, mules, and look at the tread on those. So I am following my own advice. These are actually marketed as indoor and outdoor slippers. Don't know why you'd want to wear slippers outdoors, but they are really good tread. I am not going to fall when I have these on. So I'm taking my own advice. Make sure that you check that tread. And if you've got those favorite cozy slippers, I mean, I suppose you could go and get them retreaded. It's probably better to go and buy a whole new pair of slippers, frankly, by the time you pay for that. And in this COVID environment, you probably don't want to be running around looking at that stuff anyway. Number 6 on my list is really, it's not a thing as much as it is a thought process. I want you to make a resolution. Do you make resolutions? Make a resolution to be an open-minded thinker about your future. I want you to be really, really brutally honest and realistic with yourself about your capabilities. Only you know what challenges you have and what challenges you will be facing 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road. You are the only one who can do this. So, it's not like you're talking to somebody, an adult child or something, and you're going to maybe be in denial about it. I guess you can be in denial with yourself, but please don't be in denial with yourself. Have a really good heart to heart with yourself about your future needs and start looking after some of these things that will provide you with a home that works better for you, with a lifestyle that works with you and is accommodating to whatever your needs are. It will all matter. It will keep you out of long term care longer. It will keep you out of the hospital longer if you look after yourself and you are brutally honest about what your needs are. You know, you might need we okay, we did a show a few months ago about vision boards. This would be a good time for you to do a vision board as we are now January of 2021. I've done my vision board. Yes, I have. I did it New Year's Day. It was my New Year's Day project, but I've been thinking about it for a while, so I knew the pieces that I wanted to put on it. On your vision board, you can put the things that you want for yourself this year. And it might be as simple as new drawer pulls and a new pair of slippers. You might know that in 5 years' time, that hip is bothering you and doing stairs is not going to be the best thing for you. So you can start planning about a move to a condo apartment, maybe where there are no stairs, and you can start cleaning out your stuff, decluttering. I mean, baby steps. But you can do all of this stuff yourself. You can start planning, if you know that you and your partner want to travel more, that might be a good thing anyway, is just to downsize a little bit and invest some money so that you have that money to travel. It doesn't necessarily have to be about your functional ability. It can be about how to achieve other kinds of goals that you have. Be open-minded. That is the best gift you can give yourself. All right, those are my items for my 2021 wish list for you to think about and consider and maybe put into the planning process in your own life. So at that point, I'm going to leave you right here. I think what we're going to do is pop onto Instagram the odd time or maybe Facebook Live and just have little live chats. That's probably is something that will connect us better. If you don't belong to the Facebook group called Aging in Place, then search for that and we can pop you in there and we can have some chats over there. We ask questions over there and we have some discussions. Some of them are more lively than others, but you're welcome there. What I don't welcome is companies or individuals that want to promote or peddle their goods. That is no bueno. No love for that. So anyway, I will see you next Wednesday at 12 noon. And until then, please take care of yourselves and do remember that it takes a village to age a senior. Bye, everybody.